Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Jeffrey Galps of the ENT Institute. Welcome to Am I Going to Die? Glad to be hosting alongside Melissa.
Hello, and welcome back. We're here again, 3 weeks in a row.
With Am I Going to Die? Right?
And today's segment is
About GMOs, genetically modified
organisms.
Though not everything's an organism in this. But
really
let's see if we
throwing you
can.
off here.
It really is because, it's not an organism. It doesn't meet the definition. But the whole point is genetically modified food sources in particular. That's what we're talking about today.
Or sources that go into your food, like animals who eat the sources of the GMOs and then you eat the animals.
That's true. So I tell you, I think it's just prudent to take a 40,000-foot view. Are they good or bad? Well, they go through a process with the FDA. The European Union allows them. They just have to be labeled. But are there unintended consequences? I don't know. But, I've never seen a label. I've never thought to look for a label.
I need to start paying more attention to it.
Well, I think there are a lot of myths associated.
There are a lot of myths, and so what we want to do with Am I Going to Die is disprove some of these myths. Are they in water and salt? Is one of the questions.
I know. As a scientist, I guess I know the answer to that. Water and salt, they're molecules. They're two basic elements combined. And so GMOs are actually much more complicated, but they're also molecules. So you don't genetically modify, water. In fact, water itself has probably killed more people by drowning than GMOs. Kind of a funny thing, but no, you don't modify basic elements.
So tell us, a lot of people think that most seeds are genetically modified.
And they've been modified in what, how long?
Most seeds.
Most seeds? Probably not,
No.
I wouldn't think, are they?
So no, that's a myth. We're dispelling that one today.
And so why would you modify them anyway?
But here's a list, give us a list of some of them that have been.
Well, let's see.
Modified.
A great source for that is GMOanswers.com. And we can refer to that. But apples, okay, that's another one, right? Apples have been modified through, genetically modified for years. Right? That's why we have variations on apples. And that's just a matter of sprigs being brought together and growing a new plant. So this goes back many, many years, genetically modified.
For 30 years.
So people think, oh, this is a test tube thing that we're doing. Not necessarily. Could they do that? Yes. But they're doing things to prevent us from using more insecticides, for example.
Right. And so it's apples. What else? It's
Apples,
corn.
Field corn, soybeans, cotton, sugar beets, sweet corn, summer squash. Rainbow papaya, that's an interesting one.
That's a story there.
Yeah, well, tell me.
It was years ago, 20 years ago, the farmers in Hawaii were having an issue with their papaya crop. And papaya is not a big deal for the whole world, but for Hawaii, it was a big deal. And the farmers were, their livelihood was dependent on their papaya crop. So what they did was they had, they were having issues with a ring spot virus. And the ring spot virus was killing off the papaya. So they found a way to insert GMOs into the papaya to make it resistant to that virus.
So in their
and
genome,
save their crop.
Just like we all have genes, they have genes too, and they modified them so that they produce something that causes disease resistance. So it sounds like probably antifungal is what was genetically.
I don't know ring spot, but yes,
let's go. I don't either, but let's go with that. So they also canola, right?
Oil.
Cooking oil that everybody use. God, did I say oil? Really?
Thank God.
Not Earl.
Earl.
Okay, alfalfa.
OIL, oil.
Alfalfa.
Well,
right?
you were held up on the cotton seed, because.
Yeah, the cotton seed, again, not. I mean, I think that we have a boll weevil that eats cotton. But other than that, no one eats cotton that I know of.
No, but cotton seed is put as a filler into animal food.
Okay, the seed is, not the cotton itself.
So
not the fabric of our something.
Well, a lot of people are going to say, well, then I'll stop eating meats, because our meats the meat, cows or chickens or whatnot would eat these GMOs, right? So you'd stop eating them and you'd become vegetarian or vegan. But you can't get away from GMOs.
You can't, and I don't know there's a reason to get away from GMOs. I mean, if you were getting something that would be more harmful than what we were using, then we wouldn't have GMOs. Right?
Here's a myth or fact for you to dispel today. GMOs are too new for us to know if they're dangerous.
Well, no, that's not true, because like you said, they've been around 30 years, and there's not that much. I mean, I've never seen labeling, but it can be a hot topic.
Yeah.
Among
next time I go to the grocery store, I'm gonna be more aware, and I think that's part of this segment
Me too. When I go in for coffee creamer, I'm going to.
You had something about coffee. Oops. You had something about coffee.
Oh yeah, well, coffee really
don't kill my coffee craving.
I'm not.
Okay.
It probably will. It's 25 times more deadly than some of the GMOs that we find, right? And GMOs, because they're genetically modifying some of these plants, it makes them resistant to insects, right? So instead of using tons of insecticide, they don't have to use tons of insecticide. The plant produces its own protection, and then you can use limited insecticide if need be, right? So, for example, weeds need to be killed, so you can probably put that over everything a little easier when you have something that's resistant to that insecticide. So it also makes plants resistant to insecticides, which could be a problem in the future.
Well, okay, so this is where my concern comes in. Let's kind of side table the GMOs right here, but the same people who are one of the main GMO companies, if you will, Monsanto, which a lot of the moms, that's like red flag, that's something I know of at least. So me being a lay person, you being the physician, when you hear Monsanto, you know there's not a lot of good that comes out of that.
Well, they make chemicals.
Well, here's the thing. They make weed killer, okay? And there's
Roundup.
That's right, Roundup. Okay, hold on. So, glyphosate.
Right.
Okay. This is a big problem for me because glyphosate is found in Cheerios, Annie's cookies. Most moms, like myself, when you say, okay, I can't bake today, okay, so I'm going to go down the aisle and I'm going to pick Annie's, an organically known company that's safe for kids, right?
Right.
And I go grocery shopping, I bring home an Annie's box of cookies, but that has been proven to have glyphosate in it, which is weed killer. So that's where I have a problem.
Well, too much of anything will kill you, I think, practically. And so, like coffee's, and one of the facts we have here is 25 times more deadly than the amounts of glyphosate in those products, right? We're drinking coffee.
This might get some comments from our viewers.
Well, we may. We'd love to have comments. Right?
Absolutely.
If you
Prove
think
us wrong.
Right? Or tell us, I don't know why you're talking about this because you're not going to die from it. At least we know now.
We can circle back around with a myth and a fact and bring in your specialty, because how about GMOs with regards to causing allergies or cancer or other health problems?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, I don't know that there's been any link to GMOs to cancers at all. I know of none.
Right.
If you do, let me know. Allergies, not sure. Allergies are meaning not deadly allergies, but just inhalational allergies, things that affect your body's chemistry. Again, we don't know about that either. But because this is a hot topic, they'll continue to research it. I promise you, there's too much money in it. Follow the money, you'll find out where the problem is. So we just need to continue to do that research. But
I think we're just scratching the surface.
Yeah, I just don't think that at this point they're deadly. We just don't know what the future holds right now.
So, as we always try to uncover on this segment and this show once a week is, am I going to die from GMOs?
Right. Well, I don't know. I don't know that we are, but more research is needed. We just want to make you aware of it and have you Send us some questions or any facts. Listen, I don't have to be right. It's not about me. It's about getting you information and trying to be somewhat entertaining at the same time. Am I going to die from GMOs? Not right now. Otherwise, I wouldn't produce it. So, if you have comments, reach back to us and all.
Please do. We'd love to hear from you. We will be back next week, same time, same place. We're waiting on our studio to get some beautification.
That's right. Well, you know, all we have is this. But
so
when
bear
you see
with us. It is coming, and we're headed to bigger, better things all year. We'd love to hear back from you. What would you like to know, and what can we help you disprove of? Am I going to die from? We're all going to die.
Right. Eventually, we all are. So now you've been notified. GMOs concerned. Give us your thoughts. Okay. Remember, as always, it's your health, your money, and your choice. Tune in next week. Great to see you.
Thanks for your time today.